ACC Media Days, or they call it ACC Kickoff now. It'll always be ACC Media Days to me. Nothing super groundbreaking. You know, all the Florida State guys did carry themselves well, said the right things, looked really sharp. Love the guys that went. If I could have added one more person, I might have sent Cooper, but you can only send 3. But I love what Cooper's done for this roster. I love what he's done for this team. Love that he broke the rock the other day after summer workouts ended. I really, really like Robert Cooper as a person. We actually chatted with him last week a little bit. And, man, he's just a great kid and has been all 5 years he's been at Florida State. I remember when he committed. I remember chatting with him when he committed, and I was just super happy for him. Trench monster, I remember that. And, you know, it's been cool to watch him grow. And so really excited for him. But, yeah, back to ACC Kickoff. Thought the Florida State guys did great. I mean, a bunch of coach speak. I didn't think anything groundbreaking came out of that. But Commissioner Phillips, who, again, don't feel super bad for him. He gets paid a lot of money to stand up there and defend the ACC. And I would trade jobs with him in a heartbeat. And I love what I do. But to get his paycheck and have to defend this crap conference like he has to, I mean, you know, there's not a lot of sympathy when you think about the money he's making. But sounded a little bit like a funeral, huh, Richie? What are your thoughts on Commissioner Phillips? Some of the things he said, and the overall tone from ACC Kickoff.
Yeah, man, I was honestly extremely surprised and disappointed because we knew the USC UCLA news broke about 2 weeks before the ACC Kickoff, right? So he knew those questions were going to come, like what's next for the ACC. You know, all the questions came, and he had no answers. He made a comment about, you know, these gated communities, talking about the SEC and Big Ten. You know, he said, we're right there with them with everything, academics, athletics, just not the revenue piece, and
Hilarious.
kind of harped on it. And it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? And he kept going back. You know, shout out Jeff Cameron. I don't want to steal any, you know, thoughts and pass them off as my own, but it did sound like a coach who knew he was about to be fired. And he's like, well, look, we've raised the team GPA from a 2.6 to a 3.1, like just grasping for whatever straws he could possibly try and find. And the second he mentioned academics, I knew we were in trouble, because it's like, oh boy, that tells me, and it's his job, right? So he has to be the company man, code the company line, and try and keep this together as long as he can. But reading between the lines, it sounds to me he's very aware that the member institutions want out, right? At least the ones that matter. The Carolina schools, you know, North Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Florida State, even Clemson, Miami, we all want out, right? And he knows that. And it's his job to try and somehow convince us to keep everything together. The problem is that grant of rights runs till 2036. And everyone says, oh, just renegotiate with ESPN. Why in the world would ESPN give up the deal they have where they're paying all of us pennies on the dollar and they still get our broadcasting rights? Why would they just say, hey, yeah, you know, we'll definitely pay you guys more? Because they know if the ACC does, you know, end up dissolving, most of those schools are going to end up in ESPN affiliated conferences anyway, mainly the SEC. Granted, you risk losing some to the Big Ten to Fox, but ESPN in their mind, they probably see that as a net positive. Like, okay, we don't have to pay Wake Forest anymore. We're going to pay Florida State, Clemson, Miami more. It was just a bad look. And to be fair, he was put in a no-win situation. Like he took the job at the worst possible time, and most people pegged him as the next Big Ten commissioner, and he didn't get it, unfortunately for him. But yeah, he definitely sounds like a man who it's just not a good situation. He knows it. It's like, you know, he cheated on his wife. He's trying to go home and figure out how to tell her something. There's no good way to say it, but you just try and dance around it until she finally calls you out. I don't know. Never cheat on the wife. Just saying, me and TJ, we're very pro marriage here. But seriously though, he did not have any good answers. It was very unsettling as a Florida State fan, being a member of the ACC. It just amplified the fact that we need to get out of this conference, and also amplified the fact that we don't really have a way out right now.
Yeah. Funny comment here. Hey, Mike, I see you in the chat. Always appreciate Mike tuning in. When he compared the ACC members to NIU, the whole room should have booed him out of the building. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Richie hit the nail on the head. I don't have a ton to add there. Again, I don't necessarily envy him, but I kind of do, because, you know, I'd go up there and defend this crap conference for the paycheck that he's getting. I'd probably do it for half of his.
You have to at that point.
You know, it's hard to feel bad for somebody that's making a lot of money to just, you know, whatever, to go up there and talk about that stuff. So, hey, I want to